Ladies and gentlemen, this fight will be 3 rounds and will be contested in the featherweight division. First, the fighter in the NOS Energy blue corner. This fighter hails from Huntsville, Ontario, and is representing Muskoka Kickboxing. He has a record of 3 wins, no losses. Weighed in at 145.6 pounds. Specializing in kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. Make some noise for Kyle, the Monster Nelson! And now his opponent, in the 888 Poker red corner. He hails from Toronto, Ontario. He represents Grant's MMA with a record of 3 wins, no losses. Weighed in at 144.8 pounds. He's a Muay Thai menace. Let's hear it for Neelan Hordatt Reece.
All right, Robin, we have a battle in the 155-pound division as the undefeated Kyle Nelson set to take on Neelan Hordatt Reece.
Also undefeated, both men are at 3-0. I love this matchup. Hordatt Reece works very closely with Ryan Grant, our buddy RG. Talented striker under a talented coach. Nelson has shown incredible toughness and incredible willingness, great explosiveness, but I think as far as just clean technique, Hordatt Reece might be a little crisper.
And Robin, we're seeing that right from the get-go. Beautiful technique displayed by Hordatt Reece as he's targeting that inside thigh of Nelson.
Yeah, nice economy of movement so far. Very small steps, small movement, nice high guard, stalking Nelson.
Forced Nelson up against the cage, and it seems that Nelson might be dangerous from that position.
You can see when Nelson commits to a strike, he has to really lean into it. His whole body moves forward. When Hordatt Reece commits to a strike, it's just economical. It's a tight inside strike.
This fight brought to you by Echo MMA. Hordatt Reece, again, looking to work the legs of Nelson. Hands up high and throws to a beautiful combination that scores. Nelson thinking about his options right now, just trying to move forward, trying to attack when the opportunity presents itself. Now trying to target that single leg. Excellent sprawl displayed by Hordatt Reece.
I've called Nelson's fights before, and what I love about this kid is his heart, his willingness, and his desire. You know, that's built right into him. And you see a nice right hook to the body as well.
And look at that. That left hand scores from Hordatt Reece. Makes Nelson honest, but Nelson not afraid. Throws a left hook of his own.
See, Nelson's throwing big hooks and driving in, but you see this nice guard of Reece. Here, he's got his hands held high, he's defending very well. But when Reece hits, it's high impact, it's crisp, and it's clean. Whereas with Nelson, it's a little more rudimentary. It's going to be a very interesting fight.
Nelson again uses that right hand to close the distance, gets in close, and now let's see what type of clinch game he's got.
Yeah, great strategy. Hordatt Reece is doing a nice job of counter-punching and he's landing crisp shots. So what does Kyle Nelson do? He shoots in and looks for that takedown. Beautiful, beautiful combinations by Hordatt Reece. Always landing. Look how nice these shots are.
A fantastic tilt here in the lightweight division. Kyle Nelson, only 22 years of age, so it's exciting to see, or the thought anyways, of how he will evolve over the next number of years.
Nelson's backing up a lot, and then when he goes to unload a combination, he's always shooting in. See how he ate that shot on the way in? He's able to land here a little bit. Nice kick to the body. But without question, I think it's Hordatt Reece who's doing the clean, heavy striking here.
I have to agree with you.
Nelson's super tough, So in his mind, I don't think he'll feel at all like he's on the wrong end of this. He can take a punch. He's got a crazy chin, and he's very confident. But you can see Hordatt Reece is landing these beautiful right hooks here.
But Nelson, hands up high. Saw him throw that head kick. That was blocked by Hordatt Reece.
And Nelson's keeping it simple, just moving to his left, trying to fire that right hand. Had a nice glancing blow with the right hand, and his kicks are able to get in here. See Reece there's that right hand again. That looks to be a nice strategy here.
Robin, for Hordatt Reece, he has a victory by TKO, a victory by submission, and he's gone the distance. So you really can't ask for anything more than that.
No, and he just such beautiful crispness behind the shots. Very promising, very, very promising prospect. But you know, Kyle the Monster Nelson, maybe he doesn't look quite as refined in a lot of these cases, but look how willing, and
That's
there
right.
he lands some shots.
And quite frankly, Robin, this is also about entertainment, and for a lot of people, it's mostly about entertainment. A fighter that can come forward, who cares if he has the cleanest technique? He's a gamer that moves forward, that can take a punch, and the crowd is on their feet, as you can hear right now.
Yeah, and this is a beautiful matchup. Just well put together. 2-3-0 guys, very different styles. But you see that crisp counter-punching. Kyle Nelson, when he punches, he must commit. He's got to come in and do 2, 3, 4 and come forward. Whereas Reece can wait, be patient, take his time, fight on the outside, fight on the inside, throw to the legs. He looks to be the guy that's going to be the front runner in this fight.
When we come back, more action from Substance Cage Combat. All right, we'll take a look at some of the action. This fight replay brought to you by NOS Energy.
Look at that beautiful straight left hand. Hordatt Reece switched back and forth here. We see him fighting for the southpaw stance, but we also saw him fight orthodox. Look at this nice tight hook, and there's that straight left again. There's that right hook. These are crisp, clean, well-placed shots. I think 10-9 for Hordatt Reece that round, but you can't discount the heart of Kyle Nelson and how well he's coming forward.
If you are just joining us, you are watching a very exciting 155-pound tilt as Kyle Nelson battling Neelan Hordatt Reece. We are getting set for round number 2. Hordatt Reece getting some instructions from both UFC welterweight Sean Pearson and his boxing coach RG Ryan Grant. Round number 2 about to get underway. John Ramdeen and Robin Black calling the action as you were watching the very first Substance Cage Combat event.
Nelson shot for 2 takedowns in round 1, and they were both stuffed by Hordatt Reece. He did a nice job of defending while getting the better of the striking, I believe.
And that's what it comes down to, Robin. Of course, Hordatt Reece just really technically sound when it comes to his strikes, landing kind of where you're supposed to land your strikes. Whereas Kyle Nelson, wild, throwing his punches, a number of them have landed, but just not the most effective striking.
Yeah, and we saw here, Neelan Hordatt Reece came out and threw some kicks to start the round. So we're 30 seconds into the round, and he's landed 4 or 5 very clean kicks here. Now let's see if he wades into striking into hand distance.
Nelson trying to control the center of the cage right now. Backpedals just a little bit as Hordatt Reece moves forward.
Nice right kick by Nelson. When Reece is in the southpaw stance like this, both guys' loaded back legs, their power legs, are in play, and Nelson was able to get his in nicely there.
Oh, and a spinning back fist attempt, but a right hand scores by Kyle Nelson.
Slowed down slightly. Oh, that is, man, people who have never been in a scrap don't know how bad 2 hard shins off each other hurts.
Ow.
It's brutal. And the guy who can come out of that and throw the clean punches next, his shin hurts a little bit worse than the guy who just got punched in the face.
And as you can see, both guys have a great poker face, because you would never know that that was as painful as it was. And we saw Hordatt Reece follow that up with a knee to the sternum. But Kyle Nelson No worse for wear, tough as nails. I would watch this guy fight any day.
Me too. And we'll get a lot of opportunity to see him fighting in the future. He's young, and he loves the sport. But he's in a tough one here tonight. Beautiful left hand.
Yes, that one scores. And you see Hordatt Reece now trying to move away. A confidence builder for Nelson. Nelson's starting to pour it on.
And Reece caught that one off the elbow. When he wades in on these, when he gets slightly deeper into the pocket, his beautiful little right hook works well. You can see the difference in technique as Nelson's right foot follows him when he throws that right hand. Hordatt Reece is in a perfect fighting position in every moment with every punch that he throws as he comes in behind the jab.
Hordatt Reece again, trying to utilize that spinning back fist. That one looked like that hurt Nelson.
Smart by Nelson to pop the jab out and try to create a little bit of distance here.
Looking for the takedown. Excellent choice by Nelson.
As impressive as Hordatt Reece's striking has looked, his takedown defense, excellent. You've got a guy in Nelson who's super committed, super aggressive, and very willing, and he's been able to stuff him 3 times.
Great battle here at 155 pounds as Nelson, middle kick to Neelan. Hordatt Reece. Reece responds.
Round 1, Reece did a lot of damage with those fists. And here in round 2, it's been a lot about the kicks. The inside kick, again, set up nicely from the southpaw stance, as well as the kicks to the body. Nelson's got 1 or 2 of his own in there as well. We see him with an outside kick, a rangefinder. Nelson's willingness is very much keeping him in this fight. He's taking a lot of big shots here, particularly those fists in round 1, but very much in this fight.
And you have to, Robin, you also have to acknowledge the fact that Reece is in good shape. His hands are up high. A lot of fighters that would have thrown the amount of techniques that he's thrown, their hands would be at their hips.
That's true. Reece landed a beautiful straight left there. Nelson threw the right overhand, tried to throw it over top, and that really illustrated the difference between these guys striking. Reece's was crisp and clean and sharp, and Nelson's was, throwing a bit of a baseball. And beautiful inside kick there as well. I think Neelan Hordatt Reece is going to go up 2 rounds to 1 here, or 2 rounds to none, I'm sorry.
And Nelson trying to win this round. If he gets this takedown, he does. This could be a game changer as he gets the full mount right at the end of round number 2. When we come back, round number 3 from this lightweight encounter. Welcome back to Substance Cage Combat. This fight replay brought to you by Street Soldier.
Some great action from these guys off the Superman punch. Hordatt Reece throws the spinning back kick. Some really high impact exchanges from these 2 young prospects. A nice knee up the middle we see right here. That straight left hand has been working. Man, when Hordatt Reece throws, he commits to these combinations. Bit of a clash ahead there, I think. Let's see if we see it again. Yes. That stubbly head, that might have been what caused that cut. Great round, though. You gotta love a guy like Kyle the Monster Nelson. So committed, so aggressive, built to do this.
We are getting set for the 3rd and final round here in this lightweight matchup here on Substance Cage Combat. And Robin, you believe that it is Hordatt Reece up 2 rounds, which means Kyle Nelson needs to finish this fight. But then again, we don't know what the judges are seeing. Both of those rounds very, very competitive.
Absolutely, especially round 2 was a little bit closer, although there was a ton of leg kicks, ton of body kicks thrown by Hordatt Reece.
However, Nelson did get that takedown at the end. Was it enough? Was he able to do damage? Not really, but you never know what these judges are looking for.
For sure, and I think Neelan was landing the crisp, clean, well-placed punches. But depending on how you're watching it, I'll remind you, we got 2 brand new judges here tonight. when they see a guy charge in with an overhand, if they're not as experienced, they can definitely judge that as being the bigger punch of the exchange, even though Reece is throwing these nice, crisp hooks on the inside. So you'd have to assume, you don't want to assume you're up 2-0 here. You want to go and look for the finish if you're either guy.
Yeah, exactly. I would imagine that's what the corners are saying. It's time to put the other one away. Easier said than done, of course.
Especially with both guys. Very tough, very game.
But now's the time where you have to drain the gas tank, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Nelson here, you know, he just keeps coming forward.
Looking for that takedown. Hordatt Reece just pulls his leg away and says, no. Targeting the outside of that lead leg.
Oh, I like that. Now Nelson starts to come forward within the combination. He was able to get off that jab. You got to figure he'd be looking for the takedown as well. We haven't seen him score the mat yet until that very last 8 or 9 seconds of the second round. You know, once you get one takedown, your confidence is high, you can get another.
And then you get your opponent thinking about, okay, is he going to shoot in or not?
Now that's the second jab that Nelson has landed on the entry, so finding something works for him. Oh, we're looking at a guillotine possibility, and then Neelan Reece steps out. Little stutter step in with a left, a hard straight left. That's been the big weapon tonight.
And a beautiful attack to the body, although it was partially blocked, still gonna hurt.
Yeah, there's been a few of those taking off those forearms, and I don't care how tough you are. Nelson is tough, man. There's another shin to shin. Just watching that hurts. But taking those off the arms, they start to drop your arms. You have a little less power in the takedown. But here we drive in for a takedown. And Nelson is committed, and he gets the outside trip as well.
Fantastic job done by Kyle the Monster Nelson.
Been trying to get it here all fight. Now he's got 3 minutes with it here. Let's see what he can do. If he can get that guard open and try to look to pass, maybe do a little bit of damage. He's got plenty of time left.
What's interesting, Robin, is that on paper, both of these guys, very similar of their mixed martial arts careers. I talked about Neelan earlier. He had one victory by TKO, one by submission, and one by decision. The very same for Kyle Nelson.
Yeah, and as different as they are in their fight philosophy and in their skill set, there's very similar, especially at where they are in their career. Young, talented. They believe this is the sport and the job for them, and they're showing it here tonight.
And Robin, one thing we have to note is right now there's no way a judge would give this portion of the fight to Hordatt Reece. We have Kyle Nelson on top, raining down punches. That's pretty definitive. Yeah.
Round 3 so far with 2 minutes left is going to be Kyle Nelson's round. You know, and there's plenty of time to get back up and change that, to get a sweep, get a submission. But as of right now, this is the most definitive round. Although really in my books, round 1 so cleanly went to Neelan Hordatt Reece. In round 2, I think the educated judge gives it to Hordatt Reece as well for the nice, cleanly landed strikes, the great ring generalship.
And for you, that's the story of the fight. It's just the crisp technique, the striking abilities of Neelan Hordatt Reece. That's why you believe that he's ahead in this fight.
Yeah, but look where we see Kyle Nelson on top with 1.5 minutes to go. Why is he here? He's here because he gutted it out. He's here because of the amount of heart he showed. He's here because of how much his chin held up to these big shots. He's here because he didn't take one step backward mentally. He just committed to this fight. And with 1 minute left, he's winning round 3. And although I think Hordatt Reece took 1 and 2, he's putting himself in a position to finish this fight in the last minute or steal it on the judges' cards.
Right now, doing exactly what he needs to do with less than 1 minute remaining in the round and the fight. Staying on top of Neelan Hordatt Reece.
And staying busy, and now he's in a position to throw punches down as he looks to pass here. This is a great round. This is a tough third round. You've been doing 10 hard minutes. You've been getting hit hard. You've been exerting at 95% of your capacity, and you're here on top of another guy. This is a tough round.
Don't forget, still to come in our main event, one of Ontario's best up-and-coming fighters, Alex Reece. set to take on Reece Felix.
A great strong finish out of both guys, and we're right back to seeing that beautiful stand-up technique of Neelan Reece here. But this is Kyle Nelson's round, and you know, we ain't judges. He took a lot of punishment earlier in this fight, and not only did he hold up, he stormed back to take the third round and get a chance to win this on the judge's decision.
A fantastic battle here in the 155-pound division. And we take a look at some of the action that went down. This fight replay brought to you by NOS Energy.
Round 3 is about commitment, and Nelson was committed. He got the takedown, and he comes back, and he cleanly wins this round after a tough 10 minutes of taking big punches from a very educated striker. This is a great fight, great exhibition by both of these two young undefeated prospects. And unless it's a draw, it's a shame that one of them is going to get a loss on the record. Both guys just look so good in this fight. And of course it ends on the feet. You get right back, and you see Nelson, yes, he's missing with a few of these, but man, he does not give up. That right hand misses, and that was leaving these opportunities to counterpunch. But see, Nelson committed, throws the left behind it. He missed with 2 of them, but he landed 1.
The official decision brought to you by Wild Wing. Will it be Kyle Reece?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision.
Hordatt, Reece.
Robin, the scores.
The 3 judges at ringside. Declan Woods scores this fight 29-28 Nelson. Kyle Costello scores this fight 29-28 Reece. And Judge Patricia Vandermeer scores this fight 29-28 for your winner, Kyle Nelson.
And there is a surprise. Kyle Nelson gets the split decision victory. Not necessarily a surprise, for me anyways, as that second round very, very
Let's hear
close.
for
He got
both
the
these two
takedown
fighters.
at the end. Robin will be joined
Let's hear
very
it for
shortly
both these
by
guys.
the winner,
And Neelan,
Kyle
I'm going to talk
Nelson.
to you first. Ladies and gentlemen, both of these guys put on a great fight. Let's hear it for both of them right now. I'm going to talk to Neelan first. Now, Neelan, you controlled both of those first 2 rounds. You had to feel you had this decision.
Yeah, you know, that's what I felt. I felt like I had a cleaner, more